The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All those hours no one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now. Marshawn Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like, we're not getting any better.
We break it all down like overtime.
Looking to get it into Smith. What a pass! That's game! Danielle Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
No filters, no fake control. We run the plays, we own the soul.
It's a real year. Like you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks this season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by it.
Reading the field like a poet in rhyme.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking one.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, no.
Put him in.
This not
Put him in there.
We see through the hype, call out the thief. This ain't a game, this is
watch every game the rest of the season in the NBA.
So don't you go stand in your nose to see that.
You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Phil the Final and Caveman in the building on April 1st. In today's episode, we're going to be teaching everyone how to not get fooled on April Fools. And we're going to talk about some UFL.
Our opening weekend.
Because there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to cover. A lot of new teams that we discussed last week. my Michigan Panthers are no longer in the league, so I got to pick a new squad to ride with this year. But every team opened it up this year, this weekend?
It started on Friday night with a matchup between the Birmingham Stallions and one of our new teams, the Louisville Kings.
There we
I
go.
really like the Kings uniforms. They got like this cool like black and neon green color scheme going. That's pretty sick. I like their uniforms. They did unfortunately not win though against Birmingham. Pretty defensive matchup until the fourth quarter. And then the Stallions with a late drive to go ahead and score a touchdown, take the lead. They're able to hold on for a 15-13 victory. You've got Matt Corral back there at quarterback for the Stallions. Stalled night for him, 207 and 1 touchdown. Louisville player Jason Bean, their quarterback, did not have a very strong debut.
It was not a great one.
14 for 27, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And
doesn't really look like either team had much of a run game.
Yeah, I think Birmingham had a solid run game. They,
he had 96. Yeah. I thought it was 56.
They had 112 on the ground. Ended up with a touchdown. They had to kind of do it like backfield by committee, but they racked up a decent amount of yardage. Jaden Mickens back for another season, caught 9 balls for 102 yards for the Stallions. Overall, it was the defense kind of stealing the show. You got guys like Tay Crowder, Trey Norwood, Alex Cook, all in that Stallions defense leading the way there. Despite all the defense, not a lot of sacks. There was only 1. However, Louisville had 8 TFLs, which is kind of crazy, but no sacks. That was game 1.
Looks like the Battlehawks are up next, hosting the DC Defenders.
The defending champion DC Defenders. And yeah, they had to, again, pull off a little bit of a comeback here. They were down, down 10-3 at the end of the first quarter, and ended up then scoring 13 unanswered throughout the rest of the game to win it 16-10.
Did the Battlehawks get new uniforms too? Those gray helmets look really nice.
I think they did. That
was a great catch right there on the sideline, like double coverage.
Now these are some of their alt uniforms that they wear. I think they touched them up a little bit. They do look a little different, but the overall pattern and scheme
is still the same.
Yeah. No more Anthony Beck coaching the Battlehawks. He went on to the Orlando team, the Orlando Storm. But blanking on who their new head coach is, but he coached them to a victory today. Jordan Teamu he struggled in this one, 2 interceptions, only 123 yards. Still the one issue, like the UFL, there isn't a ton of high end quarterback play.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Yeah, in spurts, but if you like defense, this was a game for you. The Battlehawks defense could be legit. They could be a contender if they can really
nice.
Hold up. Though they ended up pulling 7 sacks. They had 3 TFLs, 2 interceptions, a couple of pass breakups that were really nice as well. You've got like returning players like Pita Tomapinu, AJ Thomas, Levante Bentley coming back on that defensive line. So they got some good continuity there. We'll definitely be looking to see if they can ride that defense throughout the year. If they can generate the pass rush that they got, though, they'll be very disruptive and be a force to be reckoned with.
This was the first game, too. We saw the 4-point field goal in action. DC didn't score a touchdown in this game at all, but they opened it up with the first 4-point field goal this season, 60-yarder exactly from McCrane. And yeah, this game was really all defense. You can tell just from this scoring summary right here. It's barely one section of this page, and it's all St. Louis.
Yeah, the defenders' offense just looked like they've got some new guys there. There's been some shifting. You thought with Teamu coming back that there might be a little bit of a continuity there that they could build off of, but wasn't the case in this game, and they end up starting the year 1-0 on their title defense, or 0-1 rather on title defense.
Now, this next game, this might be the team I go with, honestly. The Dallas Renegades. They're looking pretty solid offensively against the Houston Gamblers.
Yeah,
on the 28th.
They kind of dominated them. Gamblers didn't get a whole lot going. They were only 3 points in the first half. And touchdown in the fourth quarter kind of came in garbage time. Really, their big highlight was kick return touchdown that they had. And like one of the most exciting starts to a third quarter I've seen. So, and it opens up and Houston immediately hits like a 66-yard touchdown pass. And then the ensuing kickoff, you have Jalen Marino Cropper run the kickoff back at 93 yards for a touchdown. So a lot of excitement there. But Dallas's offense looks really good. They put up 36 in this one. They had a lot of good drives going.
Only 72 yards on the ground. So this is like the one team that might have a nice little passing game.
Yeah, they probably got the best quarterback. They had the best quarterback performance week one, that's for sure. Austin Reed's 376 yards, tied the league record for passing yards in the game. Fun fact, and 3 touchdowns.
I'm giving credit to his receivers, though. Tyler Vaughn was really good. Yeah. He's a great route runner, really underrated.
Back for another season in the UFL. He went off to seven balls for $144 and touchdown.
And Greg Ward, his three catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. And Ellis Merriweather, 6 catches, 47 yards and a touchdown. This might be the one team that we see with a real explosive passing game all season long.
I think right now they're also probably the favorites. That defense played pretty well too. Like I said, only really 1 touchdown given up, and that was in garbage time. You know, like the game was well within hand at that point. You're up 36-11. Pulled in 3 sacks on the day. Trey Follin, Bobby Price, and Kevin Strong Jr. all getting in on the action. Stephen Jones and Sean Wade both pulled in an interception there too. So a couple of sacks, a few takeaways. I believe one of those was a pick 6 as well. Sean Wade's one was, yeah. So they had a really good performance. They're looking like, I think right now, the favorite to win it all. It is just week 1. It's a long season that we'll see how things
got a
might
long
shift.
way to go. You know, this was a good way to start the season for the 2 Texas teams play each other. A nice little battle for Texas week 1. That's always nice.
Yeah. Now their final 2 games here, we had the Orlando Storm and the Columbus Aviators squaring off.
2 new teams.
2 new squads. Was a pretty good game, actually. Looked like the Storm were going to crush the Aviators, but a late rally kind of gave Orlando a bit of a scare, but they ended up holding on 23-16. I was cracking up because I was getting a chance to watch some of this game, man, and they had like 2 scoring drives in a row for Orlando where they were like Sam Acho's on the sideline talking to Captain Motherland, the defensive coordinator of Columbus, and he is just watching his team get gashed, and it's just so so pissed on the sideline, and Sam Acho's just standing next to him with the.
I forget they do like
mic in
those
his face.
in-game while the play is happening. Do those interviews sometimes?
Yeah,
That is
like
hilarious.
it's cool. I do like the all access. But it's funny too because like
In those moments, you're just watching a man die.
yeah, it's so upset. Like you can see like in some of the highlights there, like they're talking to like the backup QBs, like what's the play call here, like as the play call comes in, and yeah, like he's talking to Captain Motherland on this one touchdown run, and he's like they had a blitz called and it's a run. He's like, oh crap, it's a run. Okay, we just can't overrun it. And then he watches like his team on like the whole left side all run up the field and just leave this lane for the back to go up, and he's like trying so hard not to swear because he's on TV. And Sam Acho goes, well, he said they can't overrun it. As you can see there, they clearly did. I was like, oh, he is like, Sam, you are just terrorizing this man. Leave him be.
At that point, you just got to end the interview.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, though.
Broncos fans, here's the last name you might recognize. We got Jack Plummer. I believe he's the nephew
That's
of
pretty cool.
Jake Plummer, quarterback in the Storm. He was good, man. 17 and 22, 240 in the touchdown. Really, yeah, he was really efficient with the football. Led some nice drives. I mean, Orlando went to a lot of different backs in this game, but they ran the ball really well. They put together some nice sustained drives. Another name Broncos fans might recognize, KJ Hamler.
Oh, all right.
With the Storm as well. Chris Rollins back for another year in the league now with Orlando. And then Jalen McClellan is also back. He's now quarterbacking the Aviators. And Toa, the absolute bowling ball of a running back, is on the Aviators as well. So, yeah, this is a pretty good game. We had
this might be my team right here, Orlando. I like their colorway.
Yeah,
I like their uniforms.
The orange, purple, and black.
It's sweet.
Dude, yeah, go check out. Like Orlando has really sweet colors. I like Louisville's as well. Like they got some sick unis. So I like they're getting a little. They're experimenting with some different colors that like aren't the tried and true method. They're going to some different things. I like to see that. So, and I thought Orlando and Louisville both really clean. This
got called back for the flag.
That was actually cool.
Man.
You could see like they had like a cam on Anthony Beck as it happened, and like he as it gets picked, he's like let them go because he was counting it. He was like, oh, they got 12 guys on the field. We're good. He's like, don't even try to tackle him. Like, don't risk getting hurt. He's like, it's coming back. So that's one of those cool things with the all access that the UFL is doing. So
it looks like they got some like interesting like triple option plays in their bag too. They get a little bit creative with it. From what I saw in the highlights, though, the interior of their offensive line has got to get some work for the rest of the season, because earlier in the game, when they were trying to have Plummer drop back, he was just taking a lot of sacks, getting a lot of pressure, having to just dance around in the pocket trying to make something happen. But later in the game, when they started running between the tackles, man, the interior of their line is pretty solid. So,
yeah, both of these teams do look like they've got a pretty good pass rush. 4 sacks for Columbus, 3 for the Storm. So, and then it was big clutch sack by Keyshawn Banks on the 4th down play. Columbus was looking to drive and tie that game up, and they got to like 4th and 4, and he made a pretty clutch defensive play. Brought down the quarterback. And even though they only had 3 sacks, they did a good job of getting after McClendon.
Another name that Bronco fans might be familiar with, isn't it? It's Trevor Simeon that's on the Colorado Spartans indoor team or whatever. It's Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch is on the Colorado Spartans. On that indoor team.
We're familiar with Paxton Lynch. We're all good there. All right, well, your matchups to look forward to next week, or this weekend rather. DC Looking to get back on track against Columbus. So 2 teams
Both
haven't gotten
0-1.
a win yet. Looking to get that. Orlando looks to go to 2-0, hosting the Louisville Kings. That'll be a really sick uniform matchup. Then we've got Birmingham taking on Houston. That's on Sunday. And then an odd Tuesday game on FS1, but that's going to be St. Louis taking on Dallas. So
Okay.
great defense versus great offense. That'll be a pretty good matchup. We'll see what gives in that one. Those are your matchups for next week. That's the UFL opening the weekend.
Not too bad. It's a shorter season, but it gets you some spring football. Friday night and Saturday night football. You gotta love that, but it's not in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It feels like a classic, like college game on a Saturday night.
That's
Got its own feel.
Some of these rules are interesting. I like the no push thing. We're seeing some interesting strategy. A really interesting call that I saw over the weekend where they had like a 4th and short, and they line up in shotgun. They motion the back out into the backfield, so you got 5 wide receivers. You spread them out, and then the quarterback all of a sudden you real quickly runs up under the center, and they hike the ball and dive forward. So instead of having guys push, and you
try to get them in the trick bag,
defense out, and then open up. That was some interesting strategization I saw. And then the not punting after you cross the 50. If you get like sacked and you go back behind the 50, you cross so you can't punt. Interesting strategy that you got to deal with there.
So if you cross it one time in the drive, you can't punt.
Yeah, you're not allowed to punt. So you've really got to be careful with your play call. Like when you're right around that area, you don't want to go backwards and get yourself in the 2nd, 3rd and longs after you've crossed the 50 and then end up back behind it. So that'll be. I'm really intrigued to see how that strategy goes. I've seen some teams try some hook and ladder plays, or you run like try to run like a draw or something to catch the defense off guard and get some yardage back to make your 4th down a little easier. It's going to be interesting to see how teams strategize to take that on. It really makes your 1st down play calls after you cross the 50 that much more important to stay on schedule, because you can get you're in the no man's land. It can be a little tough. So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
And these 4-point field goals are cool too. I mean, you can't punt past the 50. You can always just go for 4 points.
Yeah, the big leg kick is going to be important to have.
Well, that's been our NBA or our UFL coverage for the day. What do we want to go to next? Because I think we got to talk about this ABS system that we got going on in the league
I'm
now.
all for it. Let's chat.
To
MLB
start,
opening weekend.
To start, last night, Brewers-Rays game, one of the most obvious missed calls in the history of baseball happened. As CB Buckner, he's already had an awful start to the season. Let's not put that behind. He's had a pretty bad start to the season already, with a bunch of missed calls when he's been behind home plate as the umpire. But this is just terrible. Jake Bauers got a nice single hit. It was a line drive right to the shortstop, who dove out and didn't catch the ball, but it hit his glove. So he had to dive on the ground and pick it up to try to make the throw. And it was a wild throw to first base. It didn't even get to the first baseman's glove. He didn't catch it. And Bauers tags the base and just runs out first, just runs through the base. He'll take his safe there. And CB Buckner goes and reviews this for some reason, saying that Jake Bauers didn't even tag the base, and that because they tagged him after they picked up the ball, that he was out. And this was just so obvious that he touched first base that both the managers were laughing. Once it replayed, it was just, the fans went nuts. I don't even know how you could miss that because he was the first base umpire.
Dude, I really think a lot like some of these umps are getting checked in, and it's like, oh, like you better be like your personal bias or like you trying to power trip or screw some guys over. It's get like they can call you out now. Like I'm all for it. Like officials sometimes seem to get like power trippy and want to influence the game more than they should because their personal feelings towards a player or whatever, you know. And then what this has done is kind of given those players, it's keeping the that in check because like the players can also they can initiate a challenge and be like, no, I saw something different. And
this is his resume already.
Also, like, I mean, it's also tough to get some of these calls right. So it also just gives a second set of eyes, but it also takes away those egotistical refs' powers to screw over a player because it happens. Like I'm sorry, but it does. Like I can't. They do that.
There's good umpires, and those ones I feel like they're kind of having a lot taken out on them because there will be a pitch that goes into the ABS system, and it'll be like 0.1 out of the strike zone, and they know he might have called it a strike, and then the batter and the whole dugout is like, "Come on, how'd you miss that?" It was literally like a centimeter away from the strike zone. There's calls that are like super tic-tac that it changes, but you could also be like CB Buckner in the opening weekend where 6 out of 8 challenge calls were successful during the Cincinnati Reds 6-5 11 inning win over Boston on Saturday in that series. And those ones weren't even close. Like a few of them were like a couple. There was like 0.2, 0.3 out of the zone. But there's some that it was like a clear ball. And like he just missed it.
Speaking of the Reds, last night they like very first pitch of the game. They're at home playing the Pirates. They throw it gets called the ball, immediate challenge by the catcher. And the very first, the instant the ABS comes out, you see that ball is right smack dead in the middle of the strike zone. Like it was the most egregious missed call. And I'm glad,
it's pretty fun.
Bad calls like that need to get overturned. Like,
yes, they do.
You can't just like let the like it's okay if humans make mistakes. Like there should be like a backup, so we can let the players have more impact on the game. Nothing can really take the excitement out of a good game when you're like, man, it feels like the officials kind of just took over.
Yeah, especially in the MLB because these games are a lot more slower paced than college, like baseball or softball. Both college baseball and softball are a lot more fast paced and they're a little bit more offense heavy than the MLB. Not every game is like that, but I'd say a good majority of MLB games are a lot slower paced.
I gotta say that
like
MLB be cooking with like these new rules that keep coming up, first the pitch clock kind of sped the games up a little bit, brought some more excitement, bringing some fans back, and now this has been a lot of fun. You had the compression bats or the whatever they were called. What were those? Everyone was talking about at the beginning of last season.
Oh, those little torpedo bats.
Torpedo bats, yeah. I don't know. Like MLB just feels like it's in a really good place. Like for a while it was hard for me to get into it because again it was very, it was slow, but like the game feels like it's getting really exciting. You've got a lot of great personalities. You've got your villains and the Dodgers and
the bad officiating is what made it slow because it really bogged down the offense, which also bogs down defensive plays, and you don't get to see as much happening at all.
Right.
Like it's just bogging down the game.
It feels more and more like you're watching the players get to influence the game more than anything, and that's what everyone wants to see.
That's all part of the game. Like, yeah, somebody has to be there to, call the rules of the game.
Right.
But you don't have to call it based on bias and based on what you think should happen. It's got to be what literally just happened in front of your eyes, like Jake Bauers stepping on first base.
All right, well, let's see how some of these teams are looking to start the year. I mean, it's been only like 5 or 6 games for most teams. So
yeah, they're in like their first and second series of the year.
The Rockies' lone win is against the defending World Series runner-ups, but it is a win. They beat them 14-5.
Win's a win. Wolf.
That's actually Toronto's only loss so far this season.
Eventually, we'll get to a point where we can win a series.
Yeah, got swept by the Marlins to start, but whatever. Marlins are actually leading the NL East right now at 4-1. Look at that.
They've been playing a lot better.
I know the NL East will probably be pretty good. You got the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets are in there. I think those teams will all be pretty good.
Atlanta
Milwaukee
Braves.
and St. Louis look like they're going to be pretty good.
I'm hoping Atlanta stays healthy.
Me too.
That's one thing. They could always make a pretty good postseason run if they were just healthy.
I feel like if Atlanta is healthy, they're probably one of the best teams that has a shot to take down the Dodgers head-to-head. But yeah, LA is pretty stacked. They're looking to go for a three-peat here. We'll see though. Very early, like we said, we got a lot of games left in front of us. So we'll see how this season shakes out. Who knows who gets hurt and what? We still got we're 5 games in, so we got 157 to go still. So yeah, we'll hold on to our
157 games left with the Colorado Rockies pitching rotation of nightmares and doom and gloom and despair. Kyle Freeland, Michael Lorenzen, Jose Quintana, Tomoyuki Sugano, and Ryan Feltner. Man,
those are the goats, man. What are you talking
it's
about?
almost like there's no salary cap in this league, and you don't just have to spend money on the stadium. Everyone already loves Coors Field. It doesn't need to upgrade every damn year. Upgrade the team.
That would take spending some real money, Stadium upgrade. That's only a few $100,000. You don't have to spend millions to bring in these new good players.
The nightmare rotation.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to bring us to our first break of the show. We're going to go ahead, take a quick music break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to have the
Caveman on the line.
NBA and NHL playoff predictions.
No filter, no shut on black.
No, go anywhere.
Well, to a hero, I say, I hope to see you again on some sunny day. And to a hero, and the love you left behind, I'll try my best to pass it on till the end of my time. And to a hero, you're gone, but I have no doubt that you have made it home. And to a hero taken way too soon, over there in that dusty country, an Afghan afternoon. To a hero and the little one you left behind, I hope he grows up with your passion, I'm sure he will with time. And to a hero, a warrior through and through, You were taken way too early. What can we do? Well, we can try to keep your spirits alive. We can try to be nice. We can not take for granted all the beautiful things in our lives. We can be the change we want to see, and we can listen to the wind pass through the trees. We can speak the words we know are true for our heroes. This is what we can do. To all the heroes taken from our lives, at home or in those countries, fighting for what's right. Now we can do this for you and all your kin, and make this world a better place for your kids to grow up in. And we can try to be true, admit when we don't have a clue, and be there with the ones we love until our time is good and through. And we can be the change we want to see, and we can listen to the wind pass through the trees. We can speak the words we know are true for our heroes. This is what we can do. We can try to keep your spirits alive, and we can try to be nice. We can not take for granted all the beautiful things in our lives. We can be the change we want to see, and we can listen to the wind pass through the trees. We can speak the words we know are true for our heroes. This is what we can do. To a hero, I say, I hope to see you again on some sunny day. All right, to a hero.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at nbradio.net.
All right, everyone, you are looking live at the final whistle. Let's get into a quick breakdown real quick. Let's start the NHL or NBA for playoff push.
Well, why don't we start in the NHL?
You got higher hopes,
Yeah.
for the Avalanche.
Yeah, we'll here, I'll go ahead and share from NHL.com what the playoff picture is looking like currently. So you can see on your screen here. This is what we're looking at.
Nashville and the Avalanche, round 1.
It's a wild card 2. I mean, that's a pretty good matchup for the Avs.
Dallas and Utah, looks like. And then Minnesota. Probably on, is that Winnipeg? Oh, no.
Now we'd have Anaheim and Utah.
Anaheim will be playing Utah.
Yeah. Edmonton and Vegas, and then Dallas and Minnesota.
I was only looking at the teams in the Central.
All good, all good. Yeah. So you would have most of your teams coming from the Central. Only the top 3 right now of the Pacific are projected to make it. I don't think the Kings are going to be able to do it. They're too far back. Really, it's maybe Winnipeg, or
the Sharks.
Sharks,
that's 34 and 31.
Sharks, I feel like could be a sleeper, but I guess the Kings have 76 points, so they're not like crazy far back in the points. But you just look at record-wise, 29, 26,
yeah,
and 18. I don't think they would go very far even if they did make it. If I had to guess, let's see who these remaining schedules are, because I feel like Nashville's really on the outside. I think Utah can probably Utah will probably hang on to make it, but remaining schedule for the Preds is looking like, let's see, they've got the Kings, then San Jose and Los Angeles. So definitely those are going to be some battles because those are teams fighting for positioning.
Yeah,
right
those
now.
are must-win games.
Like they'll probably have to win all those. Those are all on the road. Then they got to go to Anaheim and to Utah before coming to Minnesota. Then they got to play San Jose one more time and Anaheim one more time. So I mean,
they got to play.
pretty,
They got to play really well.
Yeah, they're going to need to play really well down this stretch. They could easily.
They don't want to get passed up. They got the same record as San Jose, and only ahead by 1 point on the Kings.
We go take a look at the Jets. Their remaining schedule. I mean, they've got Dallas, who's already clinched. Columbus has been pretty bad this year. Seattle, St. Louis, those are winnable games. Philadelphia, Vegas, Utah, San Jose. They don't have a crazy road stretch. I mean, they do have more road games than home games, but honestly, not too bad. I could see them jumping Nashville for sure. And
they're only 1 point back too.
Yeah, they're right on their tail. I mean, the Kings are also 1 point back, so we know they're going to play Nashville twice, but their other remaining games are against the Blues. They've got Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton, Seattle, Vancouver, and Calgary. So that's
a little easier, honestly. Calgary's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean,
lower end.
I could really see. I think I could see Nashville honestly slipping out and Winnipeg or LA jumping them for sure. I think the Wild look pretty safe. Utah is safe, and then obviously I don't think any those teams that have like a 5 to 6 point lead. Minnesota's at 94, so they're probably be a 1 seed in like a different division, but
they're probably locked in as like a 3 or 4 because you got Anaheim, who has a similar record out of the West.
And then on the other side of the East, what we're looking at, Buffalo being your 1 seed that would take on the Boston Bruins as your wild card 1. You'd have Tampa Bay and Montreal squaring off round 1. Carolina and Columbus. And you'd have Pittsburgh and the Jersey Devils. No, the New York Islanders, actually. I don't know what I was saying. Misread that completely.
Columbus isn't too bad this year. It's actually pretty competitive in these wild card teams. They're all really close. Like Philly's got a chance to get in there. Ottawa has a chance to maybe pass up.
I would say your wild cards don't even feel secure.
Yeah.
Boston probably at 94. They look like they've got a solid lead, but Columbus really can't slip up. But neither can New York. New York could be also looking at all of a sudden becoming a wild card. So that's going to be a really close race down the stretch.
Philly being right on the tail, too, of Columbus.
Yeah.
That's one thing to watch out for. Only 2 points behind, 1 game back. See if they got an easier schedule to end the season. Just got to win against the Avs.
Yeah, Ottawa and Detroit, also 2 teams that could potentially leapfrog up and cut off after the top 3 of the Metropolitan.
Yeah. It looks like Flyers got Detroit, then they're playing the Islanders, Bruins, Devils. They got 2 matchups here against the Red Wings. They got 1 game in Winnipeg, and then you got one game against the Hurricanes, and your last game is against the Canucks.
Yeah. Looks like there could be a good crash course for Dallas and Colorado to meet again for a rematch in round 2. Got a feel for Minnesota, man. Like that's what the hockey playoffs don't not that big of a fan of them because it's like you got your wild card or your division winners 2 and 3 playing each other. It's like Minnesota really good. Like I said, could be a 1 seed if they were, in the Pacific instead of the Central. 94 points this year. They're 41, 21, and 12. Better records than Edmonton and Vegas, who are both going to be, are going to be division winners. They've got a better record, more points than Anaheim even. So like they would easily be in first, but now they're going to have to play Dallas, who is definitely a tank of a team. That's going to be a tough one to go through round 1, and without home ice most likely. Dallas and Colorado are the only 2 teams to have clinched so far. So NHL postseason is upon us, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Playoff hockey is just so different too. You got to throw the records, throw all the rankings out the window once playoffs really starts. Honestly, because there's some crazy upsets you see happen all the time.
All right.
Now we can head over to the NBA, where it's honestly pretty hectic right now. Glad the Nuggets got themselves a spot.
A lot of things still up in the air for sure. I will put this up on the stage. So here you can see what our East and our West play-in and playoff pictures are looking like if the season were to end today.
Portland getting in there.
Yeah. The
Warriors?
West really falls off after the Clippers, though.
Yeah.
The Warriors have been injured, and Portland's just mid, but they've got like enough good players to kind of just hover around 500.
And the rest of those teams in there aren't really looking to compete this year. They've already been eliminated anyway. So
yeah,
their season was a wash.
Everybody that you see there in the West they're going to be in the playoff or playing in some facet. It's just seeding at this point. Memphis, New Orleans, Dallas, Utah, Sacramento, all eliminated.
They're all out.
They can't make it. I know Sacramento, that probably surprises a lot of people, but
50 losses is the cutoff. Once you lose 50 games, you're eliminated.
So I believe the Warriors and Golden State, they're going to be in the plan no matter what. The Warriors and the Trailblazers.
Yeah, they're
going to be in the plan no matter what. Their seeding may change. Golden State, I think, is going to probably stay as the 10. I just probably try to stay healthy and try to get healthy for the plan, and then they can definitely, if they get Steph back, I think they can take down Portland. I would honestly say Phoenix probably beats LA, gets that 7 seed. And then you're looking at Clippers, Warriors. I don't hate saying the Warriors could win that, but I think the Clippers, Kawhi's having a really good season. I think the Clippers would probably win that and go take on the Thunder round 1.
I would say if the Warriors don't got Steph Curry and they're not fully healthy, they don't have a pretty solid run with Kristaps before the end of the year, I think that Portland could probably beat them.
If they don't have Curry, I think they absolutely lose to Portland.
And the Suns, Clippers, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, honestly. If you had Dylan Brooks still, I would probably give it to Phoenix. Let's look at the rest of there.
Right. I do think that Phoenix just overall is a better squad. And I think like Dylan Booker really does show up in these big games, or Devin Booker shows up in these really big games. I'm looking at is the 4-5 and 3-6 and how those could change, right? Because you've got Denver could potentially jump the Lakers, but both squads do have semi-difficult schedules to finish out. So LA is looking at a road trip to OKC and then to Dallas before they're home against OKC at Golden State. And then they got Phoenix and Utah to end off the year. So
easier road.
Yeah, there's a good shot that they can hold on to the 3 seed there. That's where the Nuggets, I'm like, I think it's a little tougher for them. The next game's against Utah, and then they have San Antonio, Portland, Memphis, OKC, San Antonio. So we'll see. I mean, those last 2 games, like the Thunder and San Antonio have definitely clinched some scenarios. So like those could be, give me games, but like for those 2 teams, like winning each game is definitely paramount down the stretch. And then
each of those teams already clinched their division.
Yeah. And then like if you're Minnesota or if you're Houston, like do you want to try to flip flop? Or are you good where you're at? I mean, I think for both the Nuggets and the Lakers, like I think we'd both rather probably see the Rockets round 1 than the Timberwolves. T-Wolves are, I think, a little bit more of a complete team. They just are less likely to go cold on offense because they do have at least to some degree a point guard, where Houston does not have that. Yeah, that's going to be really close there. Denver has clinched postseason berth, so they'll definitely be in there. San Antonio, OKC, and LA have all clinched their divisions, which doesn't mean a lot, but that does mean they've also clinched the playoff berth. Then we look over here at the East. Playing
Hornets, Heat,
Magic,
and the 76ers. Hornets and the Heat.
We're not going to have the play-in pals this year in the East. It's only the Heat left. The Bulls are officially eliminated, and what you're seeing, all these 10 teams are going to be in the playoffs or play-ins somehow. Everyone else in the East has been eliminated. There's just too far get back to really catch up.
The Wizards, they haven't even got to 20 wins yet. They're not making it to the playoffs. So this is your guaranteed 10 teams seeding looking to change. Because the Heat and the Hornets both 40 and 36 right now. So with the Magic being 40 and 35 and the 76ers are 41 and 34, you have all those teams could possibly change. And then looking at your 5 and 6 seed, those teams could possibly drop down into the play-in. Toronto is only up 1 game on Philly.
Yeah, there's a lot of shifting definitely that could happen here. We know Boston and New York and Detroit have all clinched, and I believe Detroit's clinched the 1 seed as well.
Yep.
You were telling me that before the break. 55 wins for them, really good season. OKC another 61 season. So those are going to be your 2 1 seeds. Let's see. I mean, if our matchups hold, like I don't know if these could be subject to change. I think if you're Charlotte, you definitely want to try to jump up here. The remaining
Heat's
schedule,
a tough matchup.
The remaining schedule ain't too bad. I mean, you're gonna have you're ending off the year with Boston, Detroit, New York, but all those squads have clinched. So you could be facing, lineups that are with starters resting, worrying about the health of their players. Like those could be, this could probably potentially be easier matchups. So you're going to have Phoenix. That'll be tough. You got Indiana and Minnesota So, I mean, Indiana's a incredibly winnable game. Phoenix and Minnesota are the really only two games I'm looking at on here where I'm like, those are two teams that will still have something to play for and still be trying to vie for positioning and seeding. So there's a good shot that Charlotte could creep up into 7 or 8 territory. Maybe probably 8. Let's see what the Magic got going on here. We'll look at their remaining schedule as well.
If I'm Charlotte, like you don't really want to play. I'd rather play Orlando in the play-in than the Heat.
The Heat are playing demons. Orlando's got, I mean, they don't really have the most difficult stretch, though, so they're probably going to be all right. Atlanta, that's a big game for both squads there. But then Dallas, New Orleans, Detroit's already clinched, Minnesota, Chicago, Boston to end the year.
That ain't bad.
So, yeah, that's
ain't
pretty
too
doable.
bad. It's like a must-win game against Atlanta, and then the rest of them. I mean, if you win those, you just get a safe spot.
Assuming that these standings hold, you're looking at your 9-10 and your 7-8. Who do you think comes out of those?
Just looking at it right now, probably Heat beat the Hornets. I feel like they just have better size. Great scoring team that the Hornets are. While they were one of the worst teams in the league, they still had one of the best net ratings in the NBA, even when they were like 4-14. And I'm gonna go with the Heat in that one. 76ers and Magic. I'm going with the 76ers, honestly.
I would say the Sixers win that.
And winner of Heat and 76ers, I would go with the 76ers. And Maxey and VJ Edgecombe come in healthy to the playoffs and really lock it in. Good playmaking.
Dude, if I'm New York, I hope Toronto jumps Atlanta. I do not want the Raptors round one. I'm not going to lie.
They'll give them some fits. The Raptors will give them it.
Even though that's a winnable series, I think you can get Atlanta. You can probably get done in like 5 games tops. Toronto could very well take whoever they play to 7.
Oh yeah,
and I wouldn't even be shocked if they won the series round 1.
Yeah,
very good young team. Like that's the only thing that worries me is their youth. You know, like it's like that with the. It's where like I think Charlotte might kind of probably won't beat the Heat because very
really young
experienced team against like guys that have been doing this with Eric Spoelstra for a while.
And they're used to those type of games.
That's my only little concern with the Spurs. As dominant as they've looked, it's going to be a lot of these guys' first moments in the playoffs.
It's true.
A lot of young players, you wonder about their composure in crunch time. Same thing with the Raptors. But I also wouldn't be shocked if Toronto wins a series. I wouldn't be shocked if the Spurs go to the finals.
Yeah, because if Wemby wins one of these postseason awards and gets himself into the playoffs, makes a good run, wins some hardware at the end of the season, because in the category of those under 22 seasons, that some of the best players, Wes Unseld, MVP his rookie year, and he was 22. Got Magic Johnson going to get his finals MVP. He was only 22. Kobe Bryant, back-to-back. He was 21 and 22. So we could put Wemby in a name with some pretty, list with some pretty big names. There's a lot of.
I know OKC, again, another 60-win season. They look dominant. They look great. I think I fear the Spurs more with what they got there. I think they're
an unselfish team.
They're just as good defensively, but unlike how the Thunder really have to rely on Shea a lot to score, they've got a number of guys that can hurt you in different ways. And like Wemby can just completely take over a game.
It makes it even harder. Their best player, probably one of the most unselfish dudes in the league, plays really hard on all ends of the floor, likes to get his assists. He's a team guy, Wemby. He's been doing this since he was young in France, and it's honestly like he knew that he was gonna come to the NBA because like his English is super good. Like he is already like very bilingual, and he's just 22. He's got some good, very strong opinions, and he gives his opinion out about like world politics. He gives his worldview. Like he's an adult. He's really mature person for his age too. Like that being your star and being one of the more unselfish guys on your team, like that is what puts them above every other team for me.
Well, I forgot to do this with the NHL, but so I want to do it for both. Let's, based off of these playoff pictures of the season ended today, give me your Stanley Cup matchup first.
All right. I'm going to Avalanche.
Yes, sir.
Got to go with the Avalanche. And go with Pittsburgh. Go with the Penguins out of the East. Just as where it sits right now. Okay. Just because we don't even know if that seeding in the East is going to change or not.
Honestly, I'm throwing it back to a rematch of when the Avs last won the World Series.
Ooh.
Colorado, Tampa Bay. I could see that. That would.
Okay.
I know we've done that before, but that'd be an intriguing rematch. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think the Lightning got a good path. Buffalo, I love what they've done this season. But again, it's a bit of a younger team, and could be a little, new to the spotlight. So I think, that could just be a favorable path for Tampa Bay potentially to make it to the Stanley Cup there. So way too early Stanley Cup predictions. There we go. Now give me your finals matchup based off of this seeding that we got right now.
Based off of right now, Spurs and the Celtics.
You literally stole mine. I shouldn't let you go first. You stole my finals matchup.
They were literally projected less than 34 wins, and before they had Jason Tatum back, they were already freaking pretty much clinched in the playoffs. And his Achilles blew up. Dude's already back, playing pretty solid. Jaylen Brown's in the MVP conversation.
I mean, it's like, look at what
there's no doubt
their path could be. Like I think you get like the 76ers round one. Like, oh come on,
that's belt.
You little bro, the Sixers.
Yeah, that's time. Belt.
That Boston just owns Philly in that regard. And then Toronto, an inexperienced Toronto team potentially, or the Knicks, who've got a ton of defensive liabilities that have been a big problem for them in the postseason.
Also, I think that's belt.
Yeah, good. Like 2 series where they could wrap that up in like 4 or 5 games, easy. You get to the well-rested, you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and probably play the Pistons. Maybe a battered up Cavs team that had to go through with James Harden, who has been the postseason liability. Yeah, I think they got it. And then like I said, San Antonio is the sleeper. I think they could do it. All right, it looks like our camera might have froze up, so we're actually going to go ahead and hit another break, get our technical issues worked out.
Good.
But don't
Quick
go anywhere.
refresh.
When we come back, we're going to have some 7-round NFL mock drafts for specific teams that we're going to do. So drop your favorite team in the comments, and maybe we'll do a mock draft for them. Stay tuned. You're listening to the final whistle on the Broadcast Radio.
Hey, my name's Andrew Wiscombe, and this is my submission for the Gems in the Rough 2021 contest. Came home soiled from a dirty war. thought I knew just what I fought it for. Big brass bands and apple pie, all the reasons seem so cut and dry. Overseas, a million miles away, through a million dusty, hard-fought days, bombed out towns and smoky skies, unshed tears have got me wondering why. They say the eyes are windows to the soul. Please don't look too closely, well, there's nothing left to show. I hang around where I once played, trying to fake it through the day. Never really worked out anyway. 'Cause it takes a fool to fall for roses made with white mache. Oh, it takes a fool to fall for roses made with white mache. And I've tried every job in this whole town. My aching mind refused to settle down. Uncle Sam taught lethal skills. Odds and ends now help to pay the bills. Left home feeling more than 10 feet tall. Quite a long, hard way for one to fall. Pride, it took a hand grenade, spangled banner doled into a grave. They say this place I live is called the home, but it feels more like a prison. It feels so numb, it feels so cold. They tell me I'm a special one to serve my country with a gun. So why do I still feel the need to run? No, I ain't a fool to fall for roses made with white mache. No, I ain't a fool to fall for roses made with white mache. They say that God forgives the man who tries, but they've never been to Baghdad, never heard those mothers' cries. And when I lay me down to sleep, will he take my soul to keep, or will he cast me out into the deep? 'Cause he ain't a fool to fall for roses made with white mache. No, he ain't a fool to fall for roses made with white mache.
All right, everyone. You are
Back.
looking live at Till the Final Whistle, and we want to get into some mock drafts with the next little hour of our show. We want to go 7 rounds with the Saints and the Broncos.
So we're gonna throw
But-
some other teams in there as well.
Yeah,
so.
drop your favorite team in the comments. We want to add at least one today. If not, we'll throw in the Packers or something for Jimmy Covers. Get him a pick there.
So let us know. Who's your favorite team? Who do you want to see us do a mock draft for? Give everyone a second to comment in.
We're going all 7 rounds.
All 7. You'll see what we got going on here. I'll say I'll throw in the Packers for Jimmy just to.
I like that.
Give him an idea. Like who else do we think would be? Who's got some interesting potential to pick here? I mean, I may throw in the Jets for my dad. He's a Jets fan.
The Jets, maybe the Titans.
If you got any teams you want to see us mock, drop them in the comments. We'll hold on for a little bit longer before we start the mock draft.
I'll
show you what we got working.
We'll hold off. We'll hold off before we start.
Here we go. That's the stage. See what we're working with here. Well, we could use some more NFC teams. There you go. This will be for our number 1 fan, Sabrina. We'll do your
Cowboys. There we go.
We got 6 Battlehawks. Well, they're not in the NFL. We can do the Seahawks. Why not? We'll throw them in there.
Battlehawks should be in the NFL.
True, they're goated. We go. I said we go one more team from each conference. Who else we like in here? Or we've got 7. We'll go 5 in each conference to give us an even 10. So 2 more AFC teams, 1 more NFC team.
I'm kind of feeling for the NFC last team there, either the Vikings or the Cardinals. Cardinals don't have Kyler Murray anymore. Are they going to try to make a move?
I see Arizona because we could 7 rounds. They need a quarterback. There's some interesting possibilities there.
They're going to have Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah. All right.
2 more in the AFC.
I mean, the team that's trying to get over the hump, surrounded a little bit of controversy, Baltimore Ravens. Could be kind of fun.
True.
And challenge ourselves a little bit here.
Maybe Miami.
Miami would be an interesting challenge. Yeah, why not?
They got to see what weapons they're going to build around Malik Willis.
Somebody did say Ravens. Yeah, we could see. So there we go. We got 10 teams. We'll go ahead and jump into the mock draft here.
The Raiders
surprisingly
go and get Fernando.
Fernando's going off the board. And then I've got the PFF big board here. So we can finally I think this is probably the most accurate one to just judge our rankings off of who should go where. But I mean, Arvell Reese is the 2nd overall best player on here as the Jets. I mean, he just feels like he's very versatile as like somebody who can cover, play that Mike spot, but also be a pass rusher, a real 3-down linebacker. I think he just makes the most sense.
I think it'll be good. You got a nice veteran in Demario Davis coming back home to the Jets this year. I think that'll be a solid pick.
We'll go ahead. Bam. Arvell. Then we also have the Cardinals, and it looks like a trade was offered to us. They want to give us they want pick 3 for 15, 46, 77, and then 2 2027s.
I don't know if the Cardinals can really bank on all that right now.
Well, definitely, I mean,
that gives you another 2nd rounder, That's either another third or fourth rounder. That's 77. And then you get pick 15. It's like, who's available to them right here at 3? I feel like they have to.
A lot of options.
Yeah, they have a lot. They have so many options right here that it feels weird to trade away.
I mean, they need a lot, but they also, like, I feel like they could take a tackle here, but you could still get a tackle trading back. I don't know. We'll also bounce this one out to the audience. I feel like maybe the Cardinals wouldn't accept this, but if you were the Cardinals GM, would you take this?
Yeah, would you take this trade? Trade back. They're just offering. They can't offer any players on this site, I don't think.
No.
So they're matching up the value with more with way more picks.
Pop up ads central on this site.
I mean, if this trade potentially had a guy like an offensive line piece or like a defensive line piece along with it, then maybe the Cardinals might consider it.
But well, there it goes.
Yeah, I don't think the Bucks would be willing to get rid of a guy like Wirfs now to pick a lineman at 3 or pick somebody at 3.
It does say they could potentially use an edge here too. I mean, like we'll say they don't accept that. I mean, I could see them going like Ruben Bain, Jeremiah Love, or Sonny Styles. I don't know what their running back room is going to look like.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting next year for them.
I mean, I think if you're Arizona, you probably just go with like this beast of a defensive player. Even though Love is technically the third ranked player on the entire big board, and Sonny Styles is 4th. Bain would be 5th technically.
They could really use that presence off the edge. That was kind of the one thing that their defense was missing, was a lot of pass rush on the outside.
I'm going Bain. The Bucks really want this pick. Well, they offered even less there. We're gonna reject that. And the city
Kansas
wants
City.
pick. Oh, they're giving them 2 firsts. I think they want. This is them trying to trade up and get Jeremiah Love, but I mean, I'm like, if I'm Tennessee, 2 first-round picks.
That's not bad.
Especially like, I know the running back room isn't like exceptional, but they could. I mean, I think they could really benefit from having 2 firsts. I almost inclined to take this if I'm the Titans. You can kind of, I mean, with like all the additions they made to the offensive line, I feel like you could kind of get this done backfield by committee and still take a serviceable back way late in the draft. So that's some fun with it. I say we accept this.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So then they go and get David Bailey. Now we're up to the Saints here, who the Lions want their pick. We're gonna reject this, Caveman.
Yeah, we're gonna reject that one.
Okay. So let's see. Wow, Jeremiah Love didn't go, so they took Bailey.
Took Bailey there. Okay.
Carnell Tate's off the board,
and Jordan Tyson.
So you've got and Caleb Downs. However,
I saw Sonny Styles right there. That's okay with me. At 8th overall, I'll take that all day.
I think we sit now because we're not giving up. We're not moving back anymore, especially when our guy that we could have potentially taken is still here.
Still right there.
Crazy. Yeah, we'll go. We'll do
Didn't lose anything with that.
Look at that. And then the Panthers trade up. Pick 17, pick 50. Let's see here. Dolphins, they really need guards, a guard or a corner. I'm going to reject this, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
looks like Mansour and Lane is
I
still
think
there.
Lane's probably the option here. We could potentially go Iona. If we look at the big board, though, the Lane's a good deal up ahead of where Iona is. I think that's you're going to get the best corner in the draft there too
Oh yeah.
by a big. So I think for them, a team that's got a lot of holes to fill, we'll go ahead and take the Lane. Bam, and then we get our
Dallas.
the boys next. Another team that could potentially use
A few more picks.
yeah. Browns want 24. They give us move back to 24, get 39 and 149. Yeah. I'm kind of like eyeballing that. Like they're right here. They could just take Dylan Thieneman, who's right now currently he's just behind what's his name? Caleb Downs on in terms of safeties. He's the second best safety you can get. PFF has him ranked at 11 on their big board. He's 15 on this one. I think he's absolutely first round talent. I think we probably reject this and just go the Thieneman here. We're not trading with the Eagles. Are you kidding me? The Cowboys wouldn't do that.
Yeah, the Cowboys would never do that.
All right. Monroe Feeling goes to the Rams. Lions really want to trade up. I think we're good. Ponder these all day. We're never going to get done with this. All right. Ravens need a wide receiver. Mekhi Lemon's sitting right there. I think that makes the most sense to me.
It's unfortunate they didn't really get the guy that they need, because he does have like a very similar play style to Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit more size and a bit.
He is a lot bigger.
Yeah, he can be more of a possession guy. Well, Flowers is like your speedy dude. We're gonna go ahead and take Lemon though for the Ravens.
Good.
All right. We're gonna just reject that. We're gonna probably just turn down most trades, but we'll take a look at some of them. But we're gonna just keep going for now.
Jets again.
Potentially could use a took Arvell Reese. Could potentially use, and then it might need a corner. Could use a wide receiver. Sadiq's kind of an intriguing option here.
Honestly, I don't not like that. The Kenyon Sadiq. I mean, who? Tyler Conklin still?
They've got nobody at the tight end position.
It might honestly be really worth it for the Jets to pick a tight end right here.
Just try to make themselves seem like a good destination to go to for.
Yeah, quarterback.
Maybe a free agent quarterback or next year in the draft.
Who knows who they're
We'll get a little froggy here. We'll go Kenyon Sadiq. Then you go Lions up next. Trade there with the Eagles. We're up here. Atlanta wants to trade back into the first round. Sorry, Atlanta. And the Chargers want to trade up a few spots. We're going to also reject that, though. They want to swap spots with us and take pick 112. Now we're not doing
No
that.
way.
I think Cowboys also need some secondary help. I know two secondary players in the first round seems a little crazy, but they were so bad.
Their defense was horrible.
They need it. They really need it. And Jermod McCoy is sitting right there. And you can get a bit. There's some more depth here with edge, so you can probably get that later on in the draft. I think we go McCoy here. All right, our next team up is going to be the Titans again. So you can see some of the people going off here. We're not trading with our division rival. Come on now. If you want to just see some of the people getting drafted after that, Iona going to the Steelers. Chargers get Proctor, Terrell to the Vikes, Blake Miller, Keem Mesador, Omar Cooper Jr., Brandon Cisse, CJ Allen. Let's see. We took Jeremiah Love with the first pick. Could use some defense here. And like an edge player potentially. Or, I mean, I know they have, what's his name? Big old, is it Tavondre Sweat?
Oh yeah, on the Titans. They got Sweat and big Jeffrey Simmons in the middle.
Okay, so maybe they don't need.
I feel like their defensive line is where they picked up a lot of their pieces in the offensive in the offseason. And they still got Cedric Gray, some good linebackers.
Look who's I mean, Casey Concepcion. They could use a pass catcher.
They do really need a receiver. They got Wandale.
Yeah, we'll go with the splash pick here. Give them something to work with here. And then we got the Miami Dolphins back here at pick 30 now. With the Broncos pick. Just move past those. All right. Well, they took who did we take with this?
We picked up Mansour Delane.
Delane, that's right. I say, yeah, now they probably want to go offensive line at some regard. I think, well, he's a little bit higher rated, but if you go look at the big board, though, I think Bissatoni's probably your best. One of your best players there. Or we could go.
Oh, yeah, we could go Pregnon or
Honestly, I think I
Besantis.
might go for Emmanuel. That makes a little bit more sense here. They've got him ranked way too low on here.
Yeah, that one's not updated.
Yeah, PFF's got I think the better overall big board. I say we go Emmanuel here.
I like Pregnon right here. Interior lineman. That'll hopefully help shore up some protection.
Then we got the Seahawks. We'll just through those real quick. Could use a couple of different things. Edge, a corner. We'll go see who's all available here. Some offensive line help. Cornerback. To be honest with you, TJ Parker, I don't hate. They could use some just some depth at the edge rusher position, or like I said, Bissatoni isn't a terrible one. Parker, though, like could be a first round pick off easily. And I think if you're Seattle, you want that defense bolstered more than anything. So we're gonna go ahead. TJ Parker.
I feel like if any O lineman is available to them at that pick, they're probably they would probably want Emmanuel Pregnon more. Because we don't know who their running back's going to be. Oh, yeah, they got freaking Emmanuel Wilson.
The Jets took Kenyon Sadiq. They've got Arvell Reese. Now they're sitting here potentially looking for an edge rusher. They could use some offensive line, maybe a wide receiver, a quarterback. Do we think they take Simpson here, or they did trade for Geno Smith? Are they?
I don't think they're really all dead set on
quarterback.
Yeah. I feel like they really could draft one. They drafted Brady Cook last year.
He was an undrafted free agent, I think, actually. They just signed him.
Oh, they just had to sign him because everyone was hurt. Well, honestly, I kind of like the splash pick of going with Ty Simpson because they got Kenyon Sadiq and Arvell Reese.
Yeah. I do feel like their roster's further from competing. Okay, we could go Simpson here, or
I feel like an offensive lineman though right
gonna
here is
say
probably the best option.
probably like Bisontes or I feel their tackles are good, man. They had good tackle play. They could use some interior though.
I'm okay with Bisontis.
Yeah, we'll go with Bisontis there. And here's where I think Ty Simpson actually goes. I feel like the Jets
Arizona
aren't willing to commit, are like we're not like ready to just commit to a quarterback. There was a lot of flaws with this team. I think Arizona's like, why not? I mean, we've got McBride, we've got Michael Wilson, we've got Marvin Harrison Jr. You could have James Conner or Trey Benson back potentially. The defense was solid. I mean, you can
work with that.
upgrade it.
I like Ty Simpson going to the Cardinals.
I forgot who we took. Ruben Bain. That's right. Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and fire it. Ty Simpson is an Arizona Cardinal.
We got the Titans again. Picking. We gave them
We gave them two Casey Concepcion,
Jeremiah Love.
So they've got two offensive players. I think they got to go defense here. Good God, the pop-ups. All over the place.
And an outside linebacker, something that they could use to help somebody to get out there with Cedric Gray. He's solid.
I also don't hate is Emmanuel McNeil Warren. They did bring in like Tony Adams. They signed a good deal of corners, but I mean, this guy, he's the type of player that can sort of play a hybrid linebacker role. I really think he's got a good chance to kind of be like another Nicky Manwari or.
He does have that play style.
What not what's the guy on the Chargers? I cannot remember his name.
Oh my gosh, I can see him. I can see him right now.
You know, number 3, their safety that can do it all.
Derwin James.
There we go.
Yeah.
What the heck?
What's going on with us?
I think he could be like a player like that. Kyle Hamilton, even. He's got great size. He's fast. He can cover. He can play the run. Could be a really good, just a kind of an ace in the hole type of pick for.
I like that pick.
Tennessee.
I like that.
All right. Dang. Then we got the Raiders going up to their next picks here. Pawns. Oh, okay. We're back to the Saints.
Saints at 42.
Who's going off? Chris Bell, Chris Johnson, Christian Miller, center D'Angelo Ponce, Caden McDonald falling to the second. A little surprising here. What do you think the Saints, man? They got Sonny Styles.
It's our
could
first
use an
pick.
edge. I don't still potentially another wide receiver. I know you've got Olave as a number 1. I'm not super high on him, but as like a second option jump ball type of guy, like a big target in the red zone. I know he's not a great separator, but just like a dude you can throw the football up to, he could potentially be a really good option. Or
Chris Brazzell will be in there. Chris Brazzell.
I feel like a reach going for Brazzell too.
I'm pretty high on him.
I think Brazzell's
as a receiver,
a lot better.
And he's gonna be out there with Vele than just be two big body guys. Both of them were like 6'5". I like us going to get Brazzell and kind of make our receiver room a little bit more versatile.
I love it. Let's go. I also think Miami needs to get a receiver.
Oh, yeah. Anyone that's available.
Like they would probably take
Denzel Boston
just because of where he's rated. I don't personally love it, but
just anyone but the Broncos.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get him. That's good. I think they need a receiver. Although Bernard makes more sense for them. Somebody that's a bit more of a complete route runner. But they don't really have that.
That's true. They lost their guy to Denver. I mean, either Bernard or Boston. Either one I'm okay with.
Anybody in the comments want to weigh in? Do we go Boston or Bernard? Yeah, they've got some working on the line. They need a pass catcher, though. But, like, Boston feels like he could be the next Keon Coleman. Yeah, not where you want to be.
I say go with Jeremy Bernard.
Bernard, it is. We'll see if some other sucker team takes him. Like maybe
Jets
the
up.
Jets reject that. Okay. Let's see. They've taken Sadiq, linebacker. They could potentially use a wide receiver. Well, they do still have Garrett Wilson.
They have Adonai Mitchell too.
That's true.
If they picked Kenyon Sadiq, I'm actually kind of afraid of this team if they had a quarterback. That's good young weapons. Garrett Wilson, Mitchell. Says they need edge, wide receiver.
Malachi Lawrence, I don't hate here. But actually, no, that's not a bad one.
That
Or
would be
Keith-
good for them.
Keith Abney. I think we go Lawrence. That's a little bit more of a need as an edge player.
Yeah.
Boom.
Cardinals. After they just selected,
Now
we're on the Seahawks.
the
Ravens.
The Ravens. It's a bird.
One of those birds.
All right. They took Malachi Lemon. They're definitely a team. They lost some guys on the offensive line. They need some D tackle help for sure. I also don't hate them going for a corner here. Abney probably makes the most sense at where they're at, you know?
Yeah.
You go and look. He's right around rank 50 out of the corners, but a lot of the other guys ahead of him are already
They've already been
off the
selected.
board.
Yeah.
He's like the best available corner right now.
Their secondary has been needing help
Yeah.
the last 2 years.
It's been shaky. So we're going to fire Keith Abney here. AJ Halsey to Buffalo. Max Eichen. Denzel Boston goes to the Patriots. Gabe Jackus. Caleb
Packers.
the Packers.
This
Finally
is
getting
really
the
their
Packers
first
their
pick?
They
Holy
don't have a first
crap.
round pick.
Oh my gosh.
I also think they do really need somebody in the secondary. I mean, that's a little bit of a question mark. Their depth there.
Their guys have developed into starters, I feel like, but they just need depth.
But I do think
They need depth.
I don't hate Traydon Stukes, but also Green Bay wasn't that good against the run. I think looking at it here, Lee Hunter's a little bit better. Just
Yeah.
overall,
Getting a
I
guy
think
up
he-
in the middle.
higher upside, and it will help your run defense. You know,
That's true.
they
Because
were
they are changing their scheme.
yeah. So I think we go Lee Hunter there, Antonio Williams, Oscar Delp, Zion Young, Isaiah Trotter, Kamari Ramsey, Anthony Hill Jr., Keelan Rutledge, Traydon Stukes, Skyler Bell. Now we're finally getting my
Denver.
Broncos first pick. Yeah, we're not trading this way. Get out of here. Well, holy crap. I mean, I did not expect him.
Wow, Jacob Rodriguez.
available,
Holy
but if he was
crap.
here-
Dude, that would be sick if he was there.
I mean, like, I was like, we got to take a running back, a linebacker here. I thought like we'd maybe be going with like Jake Galladay, or there was like a shot like, yeah, maybe we take Mike Washington Jr. or Eli Stowers is still here. But I think,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Jacob
if he's here,
Rodriguez would
he
be
has
better.
to be the guy that we take. So we're firing that off. Jacob Rodriguez, Cassius Hal.
That's going to be big for the Broncos stars next year. Got to show up.
Yeah, we're gonna have the Battle Hawks now. We're going on here. We took trying to remember who we took for them. TJ Parker, that's right. So got them an edge. They really don't need defensive help.
Could this be the team that goes with Washington?
I was gonna say, I mean, you've got Charbonnet, he's still gonna be there, but Mike Washington, a bit of a change of pace, speed type of guy. I don't hate that here. That makes a lot of sense to me.
I also see him going to the Packers.
Mike Washington,
Yeah.
potentially.
They kind of need a.
Well, here we
maybe
go.
one
We
of
got,
those
I think
backs.
for Seattle, you got Mike Washington or Keontae Scott. I like two. Those are
Oh, yeah.
if you're gonna take somebody there.
I think they kind of want to keep bolstering the defense.
Oh, all right.
Their running game was kind of shaky until the playoffs
Yeah.
last year, anyways. Mike
They did.
Washington might be there later on.
They did win without it. Well, see, here we go. Now we've got Arizona, who I don't think we've taken back for yet. Now they've got Simpson.
No.
They've got Bain. As much as Mike Washington does actually intrigue me here, I think they kind of can't ignore O-line. They might have to go and take a tackle here. Let's see where we're at here. Position-wise, tackles. Those guys are off.
Yeah.
Crownover is probably going to be your best.
That's probably the best guy.
Still. I would love to take a running back, but I think you can still get somebody at 104. That's solid. So bang. Titans are not going to trade with their division rival. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. You see what we got for Tennessee so far. They've had a good draft. Love, Concepcion, now McNeil Warren. Looking at it here, maybe they go secondary, although I know they've got a lot of big boys. But, dude, like, the fact that Caleb Banks is still here, that's very enticing for me. Although, also, I think R. Mason Thomas is incredibly underrated. If I were to pick somebody, those are the two guys I'm taking. I feel like R. Mason Thomas, you might need a little bit more, but like Banks is the better player, and it's just like crazy that he's still there.
Honestly, to help with their depth, like either one is such a good pick right there. I'd say Banks. They've got the pieces that can really develop him, and it could really be a good defensive line with him rotating in.
Bang, we're back to the Saints here. Let's see.
We picked
Sonny Styles
and Chris Brazzell. So far,
I'm feeling like maybe an edge rusher here.
Is our boy still there?
Which guy?
R. Mason Thomas.
No, he just went.
Does not look like it. Oh, he just went to the Bengals.
Got snatched just before that.
Dang.
Well, I don't know. How do you feel about like maybe adding some corner depth? That could. I love. I can't pronounce his name. Davison. I think he's a little bit better than Will Lee.
I'm okay with him there too.
I'm
saying I like that pick there at the corner.
We'll go Davison. Boom. Good pick there for the Saints. I think they're building a solid roster here. All right, Miami has taken Bernard, Pregnon, and Mansour Delane. I mean, take your pick. I think they probably want to go more offense.
Yeah.
Offensive line, if I'm being honest, dude. They still got some issues there.
If they really just want to figure out a rotation, something that works in this offseason, like a group that's got some synergy in protecting the quarterback.
I feel like you take Jennings because I know he's another guard.
Oh, he's still there. He's nice though.
Yeah,
he could be a center.
Also, definitely, you could move him around. You can work with him. Darren Price going to the Bengals. That's an intriguing pick. Ravens, do they want to trade back and get two more picks or get another pick? Yeah, we'll leave that. Okay. Well, looking at their team, who we've taken, you can see we've gone Lemon and Keith Abney. I do think they need some interior offensive line help. Parker Brailsford sitting right there. Great option. I would be fine with him.
Mind that.
Going. So I think that makes a lot of sense. We take him. All right, the Packers, they got their next pick here. Reject that. Why not? Okay. Let's see. Who do we take with their first pick? That was Lee Hunter. Could definitely still use a corner. I think that's probably their next thing, honestly. Malik Muhammad, he's actually, I think he's really slept on.
He's pretty good.
That makes a lot of sense. We go Malik Muhammad here. They need some depth at least.
Dolphins got a lot of picks.
Damn, Dolphins, they're back, man, with some more picks. Reject that. Get out of here, please. All right. Well, they've drafted 2 offensive linemen. They've drafted a receiver. They've drafted a corner.
Eli Stowers being there, that's pretty intriguing.
Really have a tight end? Who's their tight end?
It wasn't Darren. It was Darren Waller. That's who it was.
I mean, Malik Willis. They want some weapons for him. I doubt he falls, but if he's here, Miami has to take him.
Yeah.
And boom, look at
another pick.
Up.
Holy crap!
The Dolphins, man.
Dude, they could be right back up there, making a little competition there in the East. See if they get it figured out. They have a lot of picks, though.
Let's see who they got. I think they take an edge player here.
Yeah, they need some
Derek Moore. I don't know. Let's see what PFF ranks Derek Moore and that Danny guy. Because I think Derek Moore should technically be ahead of him. Yeah. Moore is ranked a little bit higher than him. I think Derek Moore is the play here.
Yeah, he'll be a good, solid pick for them.
Okay. All right, we're keeping them moving here. Cowboys up again. They've had an interesting draft for them. We've got 2 secondary guys. I just don't see. They've re-signed Pickens is back. Ferguson's still there. I just really don't think they need anybody in the offensive side of the ball. An edge rusher could be the play to go for him here. I want to compare though. Let's see. Danny Dennis Sutton is the PFF 67th overall player on the board. I want to see where Deontay Lawson ranks there. I think that'll 110. So, yeah, I think we'll go. Where's he at? Danny. Oh, did he get drafted? Oh,
he already got picked. Yeah.
Damn! Wow! Right before that.
Oh,
that's rough. Who else is there? Well, Romelio Heights is actually
he's pretty solid.
He's way underranked on here. I think above. Okay, now he is below both of them at 77, but yeah,
that's not a bad
I
pick.
think edge is a little bit more important for them, so we'll go Romello. The Dolphins again, dude.
What the hell?
I mean, I think it's a good haul from the Broncos. So let's see. Look at this though. Derek Moore, Stowers, Dunker.
You already got 6 people drafted for him. My God.
I mean, who's available here? I feel like they've got the one spot they're kind of good is that they've got people on the offensive line. Or I mean on in the running back room. But you know what I don't hate? Surratt. I mean, because come on, dude, you've got Brazel, but then who's behind him? Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
I can't do that. After that, I genuinely cannot think of another Dolphins receiver.
They gotta pick up another receiver.
Again, get Malik Willis some weapons. Seattle. They've had a pretty good draft. I like what we've taken for them. You see Keontae Scott, TJ Parker. This is probably a good spot for them to take a running back just to back up Charbonnet,
Yeah, I want to see who's available too at this point.
I feel like Emmett's probably the best. Jonah Coleman's good. Emmett was really solid at Nebraska.
Emmett Johnson definitely had a way better season too.
I think he was a big reason why Nebraska was honestly able to get to a bowl game. You see Claiborne going off, some other interesting guys here. Titans with the first pick around 4. Remind you who we've picked. They haven't really gone O-line. I don't know. You look at Tennessee. Do they need offensive line? They did bring in. They brought in Schlotzman. Could maybe use another guard.
Pretty good guard class in this.
Yeah. Let's see here. We've got who's a wide receiver. I'm not thrilled about taking any of those guys right there. Tight ends. So we got defensively. They don't really have a true edge player. We can see what they got available for edge. I don't hate Overtone here.
That's pretty solid.
Maybe a bit of a reach, but like he's on the PFF big board. That's actually right around where he's ranked, anyways. Is the Jets. We've got they've got some edge players. They brought in an offensive lineman. Still haven't really drafted a wide receiver.
This is where they could use it.
Yeah. Kendrick Law is ranked higher. Let's see where they on this one, but I want to see where he's ranked on the big board here. Let's see who's up. Malachi Fields is still available. Okay, if that's true,
I think we got to go with Malachi.
Yeah, most definitely. He's got incredible speed. Yeah, like he's ranked a little too low. Oh man, but Deion Burks, that? It's a head scratcher how they rank some of this.
Yeah, like.
Wait, hold on. Deion Burks is PFF 70. I think. Oh my god.
Okay, Burks is available.
He's got
yeah.
Luther Burden potential. We saw how explosive Burden was in the latter half of the season there. All right. The Cards. Where we go here? Let's remind ourselves they've gotten Simpson, they've gotten O-line, Ruben Bain. I actually don't hate them maybe shoring up the running back room a little bit. Take Jonah Coleman here.
Yeah. You never know who's going to really start this year.
Yeah, they got battered by injuries. Who knows what James Conner's going to be doing? That makes a lot of sense to me.
Doesn't hurt to have the depth.
The Broncos, I think we've only gotten the pick once, but we got Rodriguez, which was sick. Let's see what we got here. A couple of centers, which I don't feel like we need. Honestly, Michael Trigg. Let's see who else is available at tight end. I don't hate going to tight end here. Let's see. I think Trigger Randon is. Wait, am I blind? Yeah, I think Trigg's probably the best option for the Broncos here. We'll go ahead and fire that off. Get Trigg here. And then, boom, we've got another pick. Let's see who's available at running back. Kalon Black, he was solid. Seth McGowan, Singleton, Ramon Henby. Or do we go... As a Broncos fan, I'm like, do we go with do we go with a defensive tackle here or a running back? Let's see who's available D tackle wise. Try to maybe replace John Franklin Myers. Safeties that are available. Yeah, honestly, I feel like this may be a bit of a reach, but I don't hate Singleton here.
That's not a terrible pick. He's a pretty good back.
Yeah. It's like him or Renee Conga. I don't know. We could definitely just use the competition in the running back room, so we're going to go Kalon Black. Oh, whoops. I meant to go Singleton. Well, Kalon Black's all right, too. All right, we got the Cowboys. Looks like we're probably not going to get through all 7 rounds. We'll have to pick this up at a later date. Got 6 minutes left here. From Dallas. Haven't really got an offensive line, have we? Could use somebody there. Isaiah World.
I mean, if he's available right there, that'd be good depth for him.
Good pick there. Ravens. Remind you who we've taken for them. Parker Brailes 4, Keith Abney Makai Lemon. They could actually, I could see them taking Conga here. They do need some depth at the interior. Him or probably, McClellan. McClellan's just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that kind of fits identity, their kind of style. Their defensive line is it's big.
McClellan. All right, we got the Pack again. They got D tackle. I mean, this is where I think they could potentially go offensive line. Barber here is not terrible. Judy Brower. I do think that their tackles got a little thin late in the year. I like Barber a little bit more than Bauer.
Yeah.
Take him. Past the Bills. See everyone going off the board. Here we go. The Dolphins again, dude.
Wow.
They got a lot of picks. I've already taken 2 offensive linemen.
2 linemen. We got 2 receivers.
Honestly,
and a tight end.
Devin Moore. I think they could still use more secondary depth.
Yeah.
Take Devin Moore there for him. The Saints. All right, we're
back up on the clock.
So what you guys have taken so far?
We got a corner last instead of the edge.
Is this where we address edge, you think?
Yes, I think this is going to be the storyline where Cameron Jordan's like, "Hey, I'm going to just retire with the Saints, and we're going to get a nice depth piece underneath him and Chase Young to learn up." Otherwise, if he retires earlier like that, instead of Brazel or Davison, we'd probably pick our edge earlier.
Who do you like here, though? Lucas
Crawford there. Honestly, Lucas wasn't that bad. He's pretty underrated. I'm okay with him right there.
And Lucas. And guys are back up.
Back up.
On the clock.
Yeah. Okay. What tight ends we got available still?
Runner, Sam Roche. Honestly, Roche I think is getting a little slept on, man. He's definitely ranked a lot higher on the PFP board too. The PFF board, rather. Where are you at, Roche? Roche is technically could be 87. I think this. I mean, if you're looking for a tight end, I think Roche is your guy here.
I like that.
Bam, Sam Roche. 2 49ers picks. Then the Jets ended out here, and they maybe go a little more depth in linebacker and take Harold Perkins, or they potentially draft like Malachi Fields here. I have a couple of Malachis.
A lot of Malachis and Makai.
They haven't really taken the corners. I feel like they could probably use. I haven't taken a corner. Charles Demings, probably the best on the board, or we could go Devin Marshall here.
Ooh, Marshall's good. I'm gonna say Demings though. Just best available on this board.
Titans are back up here.
They also have a lot of picks.
Yeah, they got like a solid draft here.
Did we pick offensive line?
No, we didn't.
This could be a good time. They might go for like a depth piece. I don't think their offensive line's all that bad. They kind of figured out some success in the later, like to the end of the season.
Definitely couldn't hurt. I mean, Tristan Lay here. They They haven't really signed any tackles too. They did more go interior. So they got a big O lineman from Clemson.
There's a lot of freaking trades in this, dude. Holy crap!
All right, the Cards.
This will probably be our last pick.
And we'll have to sign off here. Their last pick was Jonah Coleman. They probably don't need to go offensive side of the ball. I think they probably go back on the defense side. Yeah, they can go Perkins. That's not terrible pick for them.
Yeah. That would be a good pickup for us.
All right, well, we're going to have to put a pin cushion in this.
We got to the 5th round, though. We're almost done.
Hopefully, the site doesn't just refresh on me randomly. I'll try to keep this up and we can finish it off and take a good look at it next week. That's going to do it here for us until the final whistle. Caveman HQ.
See you next week, everybody.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25 and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at nbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.